Hey guys, Flo from Off to Lens here. I'm a French-Australian filmmaker based in French Alps, and today we're going to be talking about my favorite lenses that I use with my Pocket 6K. I have already made a similar video about a year ago, but over the past year I have been shooting quite a lot of different projects, and since I'm about to receive my 6K Pro, I thought I would update the list. These lenses are the ones that I found the most useful for my work, as well as some that I think work very well with the BMPCC6K in general. Before I start, don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this one, and let's get into it. Canon 16-35 f4 IS. I originally bought this lens trying to replace my Lumix 12-35 that I use on my Pocket 4K when I received my 6K, but I wasn't sure I would like it. It turned out to be the lens that I use the most. It is small, light, has IS, which is great for me since I do a lot of documentary and travel content. It happens also to be weather sealed, which is important depending on the location that I find myself in. It is my go-to lens, and you can pretty much shoot everything on it since 16-35 gives you a pretty good range. The internal zooming is also handy for matte boxes, for example, if you do need to rig it up. Sigma 18-35 f1.8. This lens needs no introduction. Some people love it, some people hate it. I find it to be a must-have for any Super 35 sensor camera owner. I use this lens mostly for interviews, indoor shots, and to shoot all of my reviews, which I film on the EOS R, since the Sigma has a very neutral look. This lens might not have a lot of character and it doesn't feature IS, but for the price I can't think of a better value. A lot of people seem to think that this lens is boring and has a flat look, but I actually capture some of my favorite shots with it. A question that I get asked all the time is why do I have both lenses since they are quite similar in range. I use the Canon for documentary travel work since it is light, has IS and is weather sealed. I can also use it on my EOS R for stills since it is a full frame lens. And I keep the Sigma for pretty much everything indoor, interviews and low light. So they overlap in range, yes, but not in use. I always bring both on shoots and use them equally. Canon 70-200 f4 IS. Regarding of the type of work that you do, you will most likely need a telephoto at some point. I bought this 70-200 f4 IS 4 years ago and is one of my favorite lenses for video, but also for stills. I've used the 2.8 IS many times, but found it to be too heavy and not worth the upgrade for my kind of work. For documentaries, I want to have small and light lenses, so I don't have to carry a lot. The stabilization on this lens is incredible too. I show a lot of my Antarctica content handheld using the 70-200. The fact that it is weather sealed was again very helpful, especially in a location like that. I also shot a surf doco with it, and again I was able to carry a very light rig and still managed to capture tight shots that would have required a tripod if the lens was heavier or without IS. And again, internal zooming is great. Meike 35 T2.1. It wouldn't be a complete list if I wasn't mentioning cinema lenses. Over the past few years, we have seen a number of affordable cinema lenses, and the Meikes are great. Not everyone has a budget or the rig to use high-end cinema lenses. I have both the 35 and 50 so far, but the 35mm is my favorite out of the two since it allows me to shoot pretty much everything due to the focal length, but also to the T2.1 aperture. The lens is nicely built and a joy to shoot with. I really like the image that comes out of it. Of course, you will need to get a full focus since the throw is quite long, but if you are thinking of investing in cinema lenses for your Super 35 sensor camera, I highly recommend it. Feel free to watch my full review of it. Contax Zeiss 28mm 2.8. Now, if you have been following me for a little while, you know that I own a set of vintage Contax Zeiss lenses and I love them. They all share the same beautiful look and character, but I love my 28mm the most. It is the one that I usually pick first, and it is probably my favorite lens that I own, period. I also love the hunt for these vintage lenses, and the fact that they don't make them anymore make them even more special. The great thing about it is that it is still a photo lens, so you can operate it without a full focus if you really want to, and it is super small and light. Since it is a Contax Yashica mount, of course you need to buy an adapter or to get it cine-moded. Again, if you are interested in these lenses, feel free to watch my full review of the set. That's it from me for today guys, hopefully this was helpful to you if you're about or if you have just received your BMPCC6K Pro or not. Feel free to let me know what are your favorite lenses and let me know if you have any questions. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.